Welcome back to part 7. I am particularly excited about this round to watch those butterflies appear in the corners. So we'll jump right in with round 60 and we're going to use color E. To start this round, we will be working into the stitches of round 58, and we want to start in the 18th stitch. So the 18th stitch from the corner is actually the stitch just beside where we placed the slip stitch, chain 3, slip stitch on the top of that first peak in round 59. So the stitch right after that, and we will start with a half double crochet. And then we will half double crochet in the next 8 stitches as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there should be a total of 9 half double crochet. We are going to work a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, but these 3 stitches will be pulled through this chain 9 loops, so the loop will go to the back, pushing those stitches forward. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to make that a bit easier. Sometimes when you pull it through the loop, the stitches are hidden a bit by the loop, so you could mark this next stitch that we want to work with a stitch marker, and then when you pull them through, it's easy to tell what your first stitch is to work a half double crochet into. So that's one way. What I like to do is, I know I'm going to be working into this stitch here. You can place your hook through the loop into the stitch we want, and then use the hook part to grab that stitch to pull it through. So it works better if we yarn over first, since we're doing a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into that loop, and then into the stitch we want. Don't yarn over, but use your hook to pull the stitch through the other side of the loop, yarn over, and then finish the half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3. So you can see how we have those last 3 half double crochet are in the inside of this loop, but we did not work the loop, it is loose on the back. So whichever way you want to use, you can make up your own way, as long as those stitches come through the loop and you don't work over the loop itself. So we did the 3 half double crochet there. We want to make a half double crochet in the next stitch right after the loop, and again, you may need to push that loop out of the way to clearly see the stitch. So we do a half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and then single crochet in the next stitch. So half, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Then the next 3 stitches are single crochet, and again, working the stitches, pulling them through the loop. So my next stitch here, pull that forward, single crochet 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet in the next stitch beside the loop, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. And again, 3 single crochet through that loop. Pull the stitches through, 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the next. So we should have done that the half double crochet. We've done one group of the single crochet, two groups of the single crochet, and we'll do one more group there. Pull those stitches through, single crochet in 1, 2, and 3 stitches with that loop going behind. Single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet, and then one last time to pull those stitches through and single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 2 and 3. Then we will work 19 single crochet in the next stitches. So again, just be careful to push that loop away to get that first stitch after the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 single crochet behind that large shell. Okay, then we will work our 3 stitches in the loops on this side. So pull those stitches through for 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet. Then we're going to use that next stitch, but pulling it in front or through the loop for 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet, pull the next loop through, the next stitch through the loop for 3 more single crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, 3 single crochet, pulling those stitches through first for 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, and now we will do that half double crochet in the next stitch. And then the next 3 stitches that we pull through will be half double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so on either side of this large shell we have worked 3 stitches through that loop, keeping the loop loose behind. Remembering the first one here was half double crochets, the rest are single. These 4 are single crochets with a half double crochet in that last one. half double crochet in the next 8 stitches, so pushing that loop aside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, which should take us to 2 stitches just before that peak. We're going to do a half double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, insert your hook to pull up a loop, yarn over again, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and pull through all 5 for our half double crochet 2 together. So, which brings us to the corner part, and this is where it gets really fun for this round. So we'll go slowly and step by step, and we will get this. So we're going to be now working into round 59. So on mine, it's that darker blue part there that worked across the corner. So we're going to skip this single crochet, chain 3, single crochet at the top of the peak. We will do a side finishing picot in the next chain space. So this chain 3 space right beside that single crochet, chain 3. So in the chain 3 space, we insert our hook. Sorry, I want to work behind there. So see how I put my hook behind that loop, so that will stay forward and not caught in the stitches. So we make a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then if you remember, for our side picot, we want to insert the hook between those 2 loops on the post of the single crochet. So through that one on the side, plus through the one that's at the back on the side of it. Sometimes, there we go. So you should have 2 loops on your hook, which is the side of the post. Pull yarn through and complete a single crochet for our side finishing picot. We will chain 1, skip the slip stitch, and do the same thing in each of these next 4 chain loops. So we've chained 1, make a single crochet, chain 3, and side post finishing through the front and back loop of the side, pull the yarn through, complete the single crochet. Chain 1, in the next chain loop, single crochet, chain 3, side finish with a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1. This should be our 5th one. 1, 2, 3, side finish, and we should have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. We need to chain 1. We will be skipping the single crochet, the chain 1, that slip stitch, sorry, this was a slip stitch, we'll skip that, the chain 1, the slip stitch in the corner, the chain 1, and that slip stitch to work into that next chain 2 space. So we'll continue to do the same thing, 5 of these, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1. In the next one, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1. Next chain 2 loop, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1. The next chain 2 loop, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1, and the last one, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, but this time do not chain 1. So we should have 10 of these side finishing picot, 5 before the corner and 5 after the corner. We want to turn our work now, so we'll be working on the wrong side. And working into the stitch that is just after the slip stitch chain 3, we're going to work into this next stitch around it by doing a front post single crochet. And we'll work around the post of the next several stitches and make single crochet. So I have 3 front post single crochet. We'll want a total of 16. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, which should be the last one just before the chain 2 corner space. In the corner, we will make a single crochet, chain 1, and I am going to mark that chain 1 so I can find that space when we come back, and single crochet again. So the corner is single, chain 1 with a single crochet. Continuing on the next 16 stitches, again front post single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. This 16th one should be the one that already has that slip stitch chain 3 worked into it. So we're going to flip our work back to the right side again. So you can see how we have made this nice ridge or frame part for the corner. We're going to work right back into these stitches that we just completed. So because we've switched directions, the loops that we work into are now on the other side of the post. So this very first one is right at the base of our loop, and we're going to make a single crochet in there. 1 single crochet. So we'll single crochet 16 more to the corner for a total of 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, taking you to that corner space. So into that corner that we marked, we are going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, single crochet, chain 2. I'm going to move my marker up for that new corner and single crochet in that same corner. And then we will work 17 single crochet into those stitches we just worked. 1, 2, 3, oops, try that one again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and the 17th one, the loops are coming from that front side over, sort of going across the edge, so that's where our 17th one is placed. Then we will skip the single crochet or the slip stitch, chain 3 slip stitch from round 59 and begin working our half double crochet in that stitch right beside it, how we started our side. So we have made our edging around these peaks in the corner, plus the front post single crochet with the single crochet on top for our corner, and then our side edgings with those stitches pulled between the loops. So you can go ahead and work your way around the next 3 sides, and I'll see you back here in a few minutes. So when you have worked your way around between each of the corners on the straight side here, there should be a total of 26 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 together, 57 single crochet with 8 chain 1 spaces. Then in the corner, the diagonal line should have 10 of those side finishing picot with 9 chain 1 spaces. And then the corner on the wrong side, there's 32 front post single crochet, 2 single crochet, chain 1 space, but then on the right side there is a total of 36 single crochet and the 1 chain 2 space. So hopefully you have been successful and have gotten all those stitches correctly placed. I'll just finish up my last corner here. I have 2 more single crochet to do for the 16, and 17, and then we'll slip stitch to that first stitch, that half double crochet we started with, to fasten off, but we are not cutting our yarn. So that is round 16. Round 61, we're going to continue right where we left off with color E. On the pattern it states that the pictures were done using color B, but then decided that color E was a little nicer finish, so that's the color we are going to use. The first part of this round is fairly straightforward. We'll be doing a lot of single crochets around the straight edge, and then we will once again work on the diagonal on the corner. So we're going to slip stitch to the next stitch. So this is the second stitch past that slip stitch, chain 3 slip stitch. Chain 1, and this is counting as our first single crochet. Then we will single crochet in the next 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That should bring us to this chain 1 space that we made last round. Single crochet in the chain 1 space and the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll do that 3 more times. Single crochet in the chain 1 space and in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the chain 1 space and 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the chain 1 space and the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we will single crochet in the next 22 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 20, 21, and 22, which should take us to the next chain 1 space. So we'll single crochet in the chain 1 space and the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the chain 1 space again and the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The chain 1 space and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next chain 1 space, single crochet in the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the next 8 we will single crochet as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So a long line of single crochets. So after that last single crochet, we will chain 2. This takes us to the corner, so we'll begin working across there again. We're going to start by working in this diagonal line to the right of that chain 3 space that sticks up a bit. So we will single crochet in that first chain 3 space and do that side closing picot. So chain 3 and into the side edges of the post and complete a single crochet in there. Chain 1, I'll do that one more time. Single crochet, chain 3, and side closing on that side post, complete a single crochet. Chain 1, we will do it one more time, an S picot in that last chain 2 space, So chain 3, oops, side closing, and chain 1. So we finished these 3 picots coming down the side towards those ruffle stitches. We're going to mark our stitches that we want to work into the next several stitches. As you can see, I've already marked them. I'll just help you to see where they are. So if you make sure your stitch markers are handy. After those 3 side picot, we want to work into round 55, which is my yellow round, and we're going to put a stitch where we already have this front post slip stitch. So beside those ruffle stitches, the next stitch over, we placed a front post slip stitch. We're going to work into that stitch. Then on round 54, we want this first double crochet that's just past this shell. Round 53 is the first double crochet past the chain 2 space. And round 52, the first double crochet past that chain 3 space. Then down to round 51, we did a set of 4 half double crochet. We're going to work that first double crochet just past that group of 4, and then into round 50 we had this larger set of the 5 tip puff clusters. We are going to work around that front post single crochet that we did in that first tip puff. Okay, so if you've got your markers placed, we'll work these next few stitches together. So in that round 55 stitch, we want to do that single crochet side picot again. So insert your hook around that stitch, make the single crochet, chain 3, 2, 3. I'm going to remove my stitch marker to show you that side post single crochet to finish that picot, and chain 1. Okay, then into that next marked stitch on round 54, single crochet, chain 3, side finishing picot, and chain 1 again. Then round 53, that first double crochet after the chain 2 space, we will do another single crochet, chain 3, and side finish picot, chain 1, down round 52, just after that chain 3 space, in that marked double crochet, we will do our side picot, 1, 2, 3, and chain 1, and round 51, just after that group of 4 half double crochet, we will do that picot, that chain 3 with that side finish, chain 1, and then around this front post single crochet at the top of that first tip puff stitch, we will do single crochet, chain 3. So the single crochet was kind of like a front post on that one as well, around that front post single. Okay, so we had our 3 picots coming down the side there, and then beside those ruffle stitches we made one in the next stitch, and we curved around. So you can see how we are starting to form the butterfly coming around the bottom side. Now we're going to start working up the middle and towards the first antenna. So we are going to go around each of the next 2 tip puff stitches. Then if you want to get your markers again, we will mark in round 51 in that chain 2 space between the double crochets of round 52. And then we're going to mark on round 59 that slip stitch that went into that middle between the double crochets. Then round 54, the last double crochet before that chain 2 space we can mark. Round 55, the last double crochet before the chain 2 space. And round 56 will be the third last double crochet before that chain 2 space. And then in round 57, the 5th double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you have those stitches all marked, we'll come back here to the bottom of our butterfly. We have worked that picot in that first tip puff with the chain 1. So around the front post single crochet of the next tip puff stitch, we will do that side picot, chain 1, and around the front post single crochet of that middle tip puff stitch, 1, 2, 3 to chain, and finish it off with a single crochet in the side, chain 2. Okay, and then the first marked stitch in that corner space, we'll make a slip stitch, chain 2, and then slip stitch into that corner slip stitch. Just move my marker to get that one. And chain 2. Okay, and then we want to make sure that we keep those chains nice and loose and our slip stitches, because we need to work back into them. So we want to keep them nice and loose. So around that first marked stitch, we'll make a slip stitch, chain 2, around the second marked stitch, another slip stitch, chain 2, and around that next marked stitch for a slip stitch, chain 2, and around that final marked stitch for a slip stitch, but this time do not chain. We're going to work into the top of that double crochet that we just slip stitched around. So we can see how we already have this double crochet from round 58 in the top of that stitch. So we're just going to work to the right of that stitch in the top loops of our stitch. So I like to have my yarn over there in the top loops to slip stitch, then chain 1. Turn our work, so we're working back down these slip stitches and chains. We will skip that last chain 1 and the slip stitch, insert into that next slip stitch, back loop only for another slip stitch. The loop was a bit large on that one. So back loop only, slip stitch, after we skipped the chain 1 in the first slip stitch. We're going to do 10 slip stitches, so working into the chain stitches as well. Grab that back loop for a slip stitch, that's 2, and the next chain makes 3. Then we will do that back loop only of the next slip stitch. Mine's a little tight. Grab it with my hook. Nope. There we go. So that's 4, the 2 chains, 5 and 6, the next slip stitch, 7, and then those 2 chains, 8 and 9, and in the final slip stitch that we made in round 54 is our 10 back loop only slip stitches. We're going to repeat that on the other side of the corner chain 2 spaces, a mirror image of what we just did. So I'll remove these stitch markers and we'll place them on the other side of the corner. Okay, so the first one we'll do, I'm not going to mark mine, is this first double crochet on the other side of the chain 2 space in round 54. Then the first double crochet of round 55 past that chain 2 corner. And then round 56 is the third double crochet from the corner. And round 55, 1, 2, 3, 4 in that 5th double crochet from the corner chain 2. So the loop back on, we do not chain after that last back loop slip stitch. We'll do the slip stitch around round 54, chain 2, 1, 2, slip stitch around 55, chain 2, round 56 marked stitch, that worked better, chain 2, and round 57 marked stitch for that slip stitch, remembering not to chain, and we'll work in the top of that stitch again, this time on the left of the double crochet that's already in the top of that stitch. Complete our slip stitch and chain 1. Then we'll turn again to work back down those stitches. So we'll skip the chain 1 and the first slip stitch. Then in back loops only, 1 slip stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then into that slip stitch and round 54 for our 10 back loop only slip stitches. Let's take these markers out. So our 2 butterfly antennae are complete. We'll continue to work down the center of the butterfly. So without a chain, we'll work into that chain 2 space and make 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 3 single crochet in the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, and 3 single crochet in that last chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3, which takes us to that middle tip puff stitch again, and we're going to work another single crochet or that side picot just underneath the one that we already placed there. So we'll insert our hook around that front post single crochet for a single crochet, chain 3, a side finish, chain 1, and we'll do that around the next 2 tip puff stitches as well, or the front post single crochet around the tip puff. So single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1, and the last front post single on that last tip puff, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1. So that's the bottom edge of our butterfly. Now we're going to do our final side, working up the final side for our butterfly. So again, we can mark our stitches. So on round 51, it's that double crochet that's in front of the group of 4 half double crochet. Round 52, the double crochet just before the chain 3 space we mark. Round 53, the last double crochet before that chain 2 space. Round 54, the last double crochet before the group of 5 treble shells. And then around that same stitch where we have that front post slip stitch in round 55. Okay, so I find it easier if I turn my work sideways here. So working in that first skipped stitch, or first marked stitch, we'll make our picot, chain 1, and the next marked stitch, 1, 2, 3, side finish, chain 1, and the next marked stitch, 1, 2, 3, side finish, chain 1, and that last marked stitch, 1, 2, 3, side finish, chain 1, so now we should be ready for that last marked stitch where we already have a front post slip stitch. We'll make single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1, and ready to work our last few picot in these chain 2 spaces of round 59. So single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, chain 1, and in the last chain 2 space, single crochet, chain 3, side finish, this time chain 2, and skip the slip stitch. Now we're back on the current round, we leave the corner and work to the left beside that slip stitch, chain 3. We're going to skip the first stitch, the first half double crochet after that chain 3, skip that first stitch and work the next stitch, and that's a single crochet for 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you can go ahead and work your way around, completing all 4 sides of that. On the 4th side, the final side, we started with those 12 single crochet, so you can omit that part when you get to the 4th side, as that will already be finished. So take a look and enjoy the pretty butterfly that has emerged from all our hard work. See you back at the end of this round. So how did you do? Did you find with each butterfly it got a little bit easier? Hoping that you're not too worn out, we'll just finish up this side quick. I have my last SP code to complete. So my chain 3 there with the side finish and a chain 2. Remember, on this last side we had already done those 12 single crochet at the beginning. So we're ready to join to that first single crochet, which at our start was that chain 1. So we want to make sure we work into that chain 1, which was the first single crochet, to slip stitch and fasten off. Time to sit back and enjoy our hard work as we watch these butterflies. Round 62, we will be using color E. We're going to start in that chain 2 space that we placed our marker in the corner. We will be starting with a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. So we'll find that corner stitch, make our first half double crochet, chain 2 and half double crochet in that same space for our corner, and the marker can be removed. Then we will half double crochet in each of the next 17 stitches. The first one may be slightly hidden, so make sure you grab that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So that should take us just before that chain 3 that we had done on round 59. We will not be working these 2 stitches behind, so the 1 stitch before this chain 3 and the 1 stitch after we're not going to work. We are going to work into the chain 3 from round 59, and we will do one of those side finishing picots again. So insert your hook in that chain 3, make the single crochet, chain 3, and that side finish, single crochet in that chain 2 space just after this S picot and before the other single crochet. So single crochet in there, and then single crochet in the next 90. Be careful not to skip this first single crochet after the chain 2. Sometimes that's a bit hidden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. I'll let you work your way across down to the next corner for a total of 90 single crochet, and I'll meet you there just before that next chain 3 space. 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. And then we will single crochet in that chain 2 space just before that chain 3 that sticks up. So single crochet, we'll miss that next stitch back here, but we will do that side finishing picot in that chain 3 from round 59. So single crochet, 1, 2, 3, side finish, skipping the stitch behind, and this next stitch, then we will half double crochet 17 to the end of this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, which will take us right to that chain 2 space in the corner to make our half double crochet, chain 2, and half double crochet. And if you still have a marker there, you can remove the marker now. So not a very complicated round to give us a little bit of a breather after our last several rounds. So I'll let you continue to work your way around the next 3 sides, and I'll see you back here at the end. Okay, on my last side here, towards the corner, I just need my 15, 16, and 17 half double crochet. And just before we join, you can check to make sure you have 92 single crochets, 36 half double crochet, and 2 of those side finishing picot, plus the chain 2 in the corner space. So once that is correct, you can go ahead and join to that first half double crochet. And fasten off this round. Round 63, we will use color D. We have a few special stitches to use in this round, and I'll show you how to do those as we get to them. They will mostly be used as decorative stitches around this arc or this curved spot by that large shell. So when we get there, I'll help you with that. We will start back in the chain 2 corner with a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet again. So in that corner, make the first half double crochet, chain 2, and half double crochet. We're going to do our back post double crochet around the next 18 stitches. So yarn over from the back to the front and around the post, pull that yarn through and up, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. We are going to skip that first skip stitch behind that S picot in the chain 3 space and work a double crochet in the next stitch. That next skip stitch, so that double crochet is behind this S picot that we finished last round. We will skip the picot and single crochet in the next 14 stitches. So again, just being careful to get that first single crochet that was made in that chain 2 space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So on the pattern there is a couple of square brackets. We're going to work a few stitches in a little series and repeat that. So what we're going to do is, you can see how we have the skip stitch down here on round 58. We're going to make a front post single crochet, a long one. So I'll show you how to do that. We're using both the skip stitch and the stitch before. So we insert our hook from the front to the back behind both of those stitches and pull the yarn through and stretch it out, make it longer so it's at the same height as we're working. Yarn over and pull through 2. So that's our long front post single crochet around both of those stitches on round 58. We will skip 1 stitch and single crochet in the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll repeat that 2 more times. So down around those 2 double crochet, the skip stitch in the one before, make a front post single, stretching it up higher, yarn over, pull through 2, skip a stitch, and single crochet in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Long front post single crochet, skip a stitch, single crochet in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we should have 3 of those long front post single crochet with the 5 single crochets. After it, we'll do 1 more long single crochet, pulling up our loop, finish off, or pull through the single crochet, skip a stitch, single crochet in 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're going to start working those long stitches into the arch. So we're starting with a quadruple treble. So there's going to be a lot of loops here to work. So we want to wind or yarn over 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then working in not where we did that front post, but that next stitch, the first stitch of the arch. We'll insert our hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and the last 2, a nice big long stitch. We'll skip 1 stitch behind, single crochet in the next stitch. Then triple treble, so yarn over 4 times, skip a stitch down here, working into the next one, pull up that loop, yarn over and pull through 2 5 times. Skip the stitch behind, single crochet in the next stitch. And next we work a double treble, so yarn over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Skip a stitch, double treble in the next. Pull through 2 4 times. Skip a stitch behind, single crochet in the next. Treble crochet, so yarn over twice, skip a stitch, treble in that next stitch there. Skip a stitch behind, single crochet. Now we're going to make a double crochet in this chain 2 space that's in the arch. So in that center space of the arch, we make a double crochet. So after our double crochet in that chain 2 space, we skip a stitch behind, single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then double crochet in that same chain 2 space, like that, sort of making a V-stitch with the 2 single crochet in between. Skip a stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. Treble, so 2 yarn over, we'll work that in the next stitch of the arch. 2, 3, and we'll skip a stitch, single crochet, and then we work a double treble. So 1, 2, 3 yarn over, skip a stitch down on the arc, and work our double treble. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll skip a stitch, single crochet, and now work our triple treble. So yarn over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip a stitch, work down in the next stitch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull through 2. Skip a stitch, single crochet in the next, and then the quadruple treble. So 5 yarn overs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a stitch down here and work that quadruple treble in that last single crochet of the arch of the arc. And skip a stitch and single crochet. Single crochet in 1, and then 2 and 3. So we should have the quadruple treble, triple treble, double treble, treble, with a single crochet in between those. Then in the top of the arch in that chain 2 space, we have a double crochet, 2 singles, and another double crochet. Then with our treble, double treble, triple treble, quadruple treble. And after that quadruple treble, we single crocheted in the next 3 stitches. Okay, so we're going to work those long front post single crochets again. So insert hook around those next 2 stitches, pull that yarn through and make it longer, and finish the single crochet. Skip 1 stitch, single crochet in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then come down to around 58 for that long front post single. Finish the single, skip a stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So another long front post single crochet around those 2 stitches. Skip a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and one last long front post single crochet. Skip a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have our long stitches over the arc, then those front post single crochet with the 5 single crochet in between, and from where we left off we'll single crochet in the next 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we're going to make that double crochet behind that S picot in the first skip stitch. So we had skipped 2 stitches behind. In that first one, we will place the double crochet. Skip the second one, skip the picot, and then we'll back post half double crochet around the next 18 to get to the corner. So we have 1, 2, oh sorry, they're double crochets. Yarn over, back post, double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So at the corner, we do the half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, and we can repeat all those steps on the next few sides. So I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Before we finish off, just wanted to mention that sometimes the top loops of these long stitches seem quite loose. Don't be concerned about that. Next round we will be working front post stitches around those, which will help tighten those up. So just finishing up my last side here with a couple more back post double crochet. And then join to that first half double crochet in the corner to fasten off. And if we've done that correctly, we should have 36 back post double crochet. That's 18 on each end of our side. 2 half double crochet in the corners, 4 double crochet. That's the 2 in the middle here, and then the 1 behind each of those picot. 74 single crochet, 8 of these long front post single crochets, and then the 2 treble, 2 double treble, 2 triple treble, and 2 quadruple treble. Round 64, we are using color C. And starting in that chain 2 corner space again, this time we will make a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay, and you might want to mark that corner chain 2. Single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the corner space. We will chain 1, skip this first stitch, the hidden stitch, and single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip the stitch, single crochet in the next, chain 1, skip a stitch. So we're going to be doing that 15 times. Chain 1, skip a stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I just want to make sure that I've counted correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then we will single crochet after we skip the stitch, single crochet in that next one, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, so these next 2 stitches, and then in this front post, that long front post single crochet, we are going to make 3 double crochet clusters. So for the cluster, yarn over, insert your hook in the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that twice more. So we should have 4 loops left on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. Chain 2, work another cluster in that same stitch. 1, 2, and 3, 4 loops on the hook, pull through all 4, chain 2, 1 more cluster in the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. So the 3 clusters of 3 double crochet and the chain 2 in space, chain 2 space in between, all worked into that long front post single crochet. Chain 1, we will skip 2 stitches. So that first one can be a bit hidden, so skip 2 stitches, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and we'll work those double crochet clusters in the next front post single crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, second cluster, chain 2, and the third cluster, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, single crochet, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and working those double crochet clusters again. There's 1, chain 2, 2, chain 2, and 3, and chain 1, skip 2 stitches, single crochet, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and one more of those 3 double crochet clusters. 1, 2, so that's my second cluster, chain 2, and my last cluster in this stitch. 1, 2, and 3. So we should have 4 of those 3 sets of the double crochet clusters with a single crochet in between. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches, single crochet in the next. Front post single crochet around this next stitch, the long stitch, like that, single crochet in the next. We do that 5 times. And stopping on that front post single crochet that's on that double, and then we will single crochet in the 2 stitches here. Front post single around the double, single crochet, front post single on the treble, single crochet, front post single around the double treble, single crochet, front post single on the triple treble, single crochet, and our last one, front post single on that quadruple treble. We're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then we will do that cluster, those 3 cluster stitches, 2, 3, chain 2 for my first cluster, 2, 3, chain 2, and another cluster, 1, 2, 3, a group of clusters again, chain 1, skip 2, single crochet, chain 1, skip 2, and work those clusters in the next long front post single crochet. Chain 2, cluster, chain 2, one more cluster, and chain 1, skip the 2, single crochet, chain 1, skip 2, and more clusters in that long front post single crochet, cluster, chain 2, and cluster, chain 2, and the last cluster for that set. Chain 1, skip 2, single crochet, chain 1, skip 2, and our final cluster for this side. 1 cluster, chain 2, second cluster, chain 2, and this is our third cluster of this group. There we go. So we have those front post single crochets around those long stitches with a single crochet in between, and these 4 groups of the 3 clusters. So after our last cluster, we chain 1, still we skip the 2 stitches, single crochet in the next stitch, then we chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet 15 times, chain 1, skip a stitch. It's my second time, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 1 after the 15th, and we'll skip this last stitch, ready to work the corner again with a single crochet, chain 2, you can mark that chain 2, and single crochet. Okay, so you may find that the work curls forward a little bit, particularly over these long stitches. That's okay, that will work itself out in the next round. So you can finish up the other 3 sides, and I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Once you've worked your way around, you should find that you have 52 single crochet with 46 chain 1 spaces on each side, 16 chain 2 spaces, 24 of these cluster 3 double crochet, and 10 front post single crochet around there. So you can go ahead and join to that first single crochet in the corner and fasten off round 64. Round 65 and the final round for part 7. We will start with color A, working in the corner space where we placed a marker, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. And you can remove that marker. Chain 1. We are going to be working into those skipped stitches from round 63. So we will not work any of the single crochet or those stitches, but just the skipped stitches. So that first stitch is a little bit hidden by the corner. We want to skip the single crochet, work into that skipped stitch, pulling it to the front, and make a half double crochet, chain 1. Skip the single, working into the next skip stitch, pulling it in front of round 64, half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet in the skipped stitch, chain 1 for a total of 15. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 with that chain 1 still. So we have worked those half double crochet, the single crochet are peeking through our chain 1 spaces. Next we're going to make some front post double treble. So if you remember from last round, the double treble, we need to put the yarn over 3 times. We're going to be working down on round 59 on those chain spaces. So front post double treble around the first leg or this first part of that chain. So we insert around the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 4 times. Front post double treble. Chain 1, wrap 3 times around, and we'll do another front post double treble around that next chain. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it looks like that. And chain 1. Now we're going to work just in these chain 2 spaces between the clusters. We're not working the clusters. We're going to 2 single crochet in that first chain 2 space. 1, 2, chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 2 space, and chain 1. So we'll repeat that little section with the front post double treble, chain 1, 2 singles, chain 2, 2 singles. We'll do that 3 more times. So wrap the hook 3 times for our front post double treble. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, and front post double treble around the next chain. Chain 1, 2 single crochet in those chain 2 spaces with the chain 2 in between. Chain 1, front post double treble, chain 1, and front post double treble. Chain 1, 2 single crochet, 1, 2, chain 2, 2 single crochet, chain 1, front post double treble, chain 1, front post double treble, chain 1, 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, chain 1, so that should be 4 we've done, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do one more set of those front post double treble, chain 1, around that second leg of the chain, and chain 1. Okay, now we're going to work some single crochet with chain 1 spaces over these where we have our long stitches here. So after our last front post double treble, we're going to skip 3 stitches, so that includes the chain 1, the single crochet, and this front post single crochet that was made in the quadruple treble. So working into that next stitch just beside that first long stitch is where we place our first single crochet, chain 1, skip a space, single crochet, and we'll do that for 10 times. So I've got 2, 3, skip a stitch, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Chain 1. Okay, so our first stitch was made the single crochet just after the quadruple treble. The last stitch is made in that quadruple treble with those chain 1 spaces. So now we're ready to repeat what we did over here with those front post double treble. So yarn over 3 times down to that first chain and complete our double treble, chain 1, front post double treble around that next part of the chain, chain 1, single crochet in the chain 2 space, so 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet in that next chain 2 space, chain 1, front post double treble around the first part of that chain, chain 1, front post double treble around the second part or leg of the chain, chain 1, 2 single crochet in the chain 2 space, chain 2, 2 single crochet in the next chain 2 space, chain 1, front post double treble around the next chain, chain 1, front post double treble around that next chain, chain 1, 2 single crochet in the chain 2 space, chain 2, 2 single crochet in the next chain 2 space, chain 1, front post double treble, wrapping the hook 3 times, pull through 2 4 times, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, another front post double treble, chain 1, 2 single crochet in the chain 2 spaces, chain 2, 2 single crochet, chain 1, then we'll end with our front post double treble, the last one of the side, chain 1, 2, 3, and then that last leg of that chain. Okay, so beside the arc we now have those 5 long loops with the front post double treble. So we'll chain 1 after that last front post double treble, and then again working in our skipped stitches and in front of round 64 we will make a half double crochet. So that first skip stitch here, pulling it ahead, and finish the half double crochet. Chain 1, the next skip stitch, that's 2, chain 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and that should be the last one just before the corner, 15, chain 1, and then in our corner we can do that half double crochet, chain 2, oops, half double crochet, removing the marker. So that's the first side, where we have the half double crochet, chain 1 in front of those single crochets from last round. And we have added to these chains here, bringing up with the long stitches to our current round, and work that single crochet, chain 1 space over the long stitches. So you can continue to work that way around. I'll see you back in a few minutes. So finishing up round 65, I'll complete my last 2 half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, chain 1, and then we can go ahead and join to our first half double crochet to fasten off the round. So well done finishing another part. I look forward to seeing you next week for whatever comes next.